there, YouTube. So we are going to start off the day with Doom, and as you can see, just by going in the menu already, there is new features available. You currently have now 4 character classes to choose from. You can choose from your Doom Marine, which is your vanilla experience. You get the pistol, all that stuff. You start off with the good old stuff you always started with. You have to work your way up to get weapons. For the sake of showcasing, we now also have a shotgunner, which immediately gives the player the Demon's Bane and 50 shells. You now have also a tank class, which allows the player to actually take more damage, start with a health of 150, but the trade-off is that you move slightly slower. The glass cannon is a player that moves at a rate of 2.25 on the speed, where the standard Doom Marine moves at a rate of 1. However, the trade-off for the glass cannon is they are glass. They will take more damage. With the Annihilator launcher, you will blow yourself up in one hit if you're against a wall. For the sake of being on a power trip, we're going to start out with the tank. We're going to go to the first level of the Shores of Hell, and we're going to start a Let's Play through the second episode of Doom, and immediately you can see that we are greeted by, hello there baby, the Demon's Bane shotgun. The Demon's Bane shotgun now has a new update that has been added to it. We have recoil now. You will actually have a pitch change based recoil. Depending on the ammo type you use, it will recoil more or less. Your slugs and your dual barrel fire both do slightly more recoil, with all the other ones being a standard default that I've set in the code. The damage has been slightly nerfed on the Demon's Bane, but not to a huge degree, and that is because of the fact that when we were using buckshot, we were commonly literally giving soldiers and sergeants, and there comes a point where buckshot, yes, it is powerful, but it ain't ripping no holes in nobody. So there will be the occasional splatter due to a buckshot round, but it should be less frequent now. So on top of all the changes we made to the Demon's Bane, there are also some massive changes that I've made to the lore. The lore is now actually quite a bit more in-depth and greater than it was before. I'm experiencing some small lag times with the shell loading issues, so I'm going to have to take a look at this to make sure that the sprite and everything are good. However, back on the lore, so we switched it from a supernatural where everybody is against everybody, the apocalypse started, to something I haven't really seen or whiffed in the Doom community quite yet. In the Valanian incident, 3 worlds collide, you are now in the shoes of one of 5 alien tactical, well, it might be 5, I don't know how many classes I'll make, a tactical strike force that was designated and sent to go to the UAC to clean up humankind's mess. So, during the period of which the events of the UAC utter failure happen, the Doom Marine becomes disenfranchised. Oh, heaven forbid we are going to touch the toes of some of those who actually adhere to the logic that the Doom Marine is the ultimate badass and there is no turning away from him. However, he is, and that will come in later in the continuity. So the story goes that the Doom Marine ends up getting disenfranchised with the whole mess, decides to go into a survival bunker section of a backside research facility on the UAC, and then decides at that point to hunker down and wait for help after sending a distress beacon to an experimental alien cluster that they had been researching that had been, according to codexes, helping humankind get started from the day of the pyramids. They have been ignoring all calls except for this one, because this race decided that, okay, we're going to go through level 2 just for the heck of it, decided that for the sake of neutrality that they would not interfere with any civilization that they had started or helped get on their feet, until the fact that that civilization was divinely threatened with extinction. So, noticing that they have actually faced the foe that the distress beacon is actually regarding in the past, however, because of how much more advanced they were able to mitigate the disaster of hell being unleashed on their planet, had a whole section of a lab sanction off destroyed, and ended the breach before any massive loss of life and mass casualty could happen. They decide, this is it, this is humanity's Achilles heel. They go to the UAC of Mars base, and they go and they kick butt to help find Doom Marine. So interestingly enough, they try to go down finding the person who sent this signal, and lo and behold, on a backside research facility of the UAC, they find the Doom Marine, who's sitting there like a big baby, wondering what to do. The alien then promptly tells him to pick up his BFG, have heart, and start fighting once again. Doom Marine concedes, joins the fight, and now becomes a sidekick, a permanent sidekick that is not killable to the player, and follows that player from the point which they meet the Doom Marine to the final big bad of the mod, which we'll be adding to Doom 1 for the sake of a story, and ends up fighting to the end. So Doom 2 comes along, and there's ideas for a sequel. So, accordingly, Doom Marine then decides, okay, I really am good enough at this stuff, and ends up going on to fight Doom 2. The events of Doom 2 transpire. The Valanian is still on site helping clean up Earth, but in a different section of Earth. So, there will be a sequel that touches on Doom 2's premises. However, you will not encounter Doom Marine until the very end. At the very end, there will be a slight update to the lore that the Icon of Sin was not the only icon. In fact, because Doom Marine had taken a delay to actually get started on the fight, the demons had a time to create something worse. An icon that was bigger, badder, and was come to known as the Demolisher of Worlds. This Demolisher/Devourer is encountered in the final portion of the sequel mod, where the Valanian goes to fight this big bad, and then, lo and behold, after fighting the Icon of Sin as if it had never even happened up to this point, there is a second encounter that they have. The Valanian also goes into a subsector of Hell, and eventually encounters Doom Marine in a fight with this second icon. Doom Marine kills the first icon, but then finds wind of something bad brewing, meets the Valanian, assists in the thing, the whole thing comes to an end, and they part ways. Some gameplay dynamics I'm looking at putting into the game is that the Valanian ends up in a fiery crash when approaching Mars due to enemies attacking his ship. This disables his engines and his propulsion unit. They have to find parts throughout the game. There will be minor dialogue between him and the Doom Marine, and they have to find these parts to help this alien get back to his home planet. These parts will be found. After a part is found, another level will load where the player is challenged by a wave-based survive the thing until the repair is done, and then continue on with the story. The classes will not only have various boosts and detriments, but they will also have various ways of which the player can upgrade the suits of which these aliens hold. These suit upgrades can do anything from boost the way armor is handled, boost the way health and ammo is consumed. It could also provide to be useful for any other array of things. One object that we were thinking about slapping in there, if we can figure out the coding and the nitty-gritty particulars of it, is potentially making a dynamic weather mod that, with the weather, lightning is terrifying at first until you get a suit upgrade that allows you to take the electrostatic discharge from the lightning, convert it into energy to use for your suit for some various power-up or method of usage. So there is a lot of changes on the way. So you saw a little bit of usage with the Annihilator rocket launcher, and as I said, there was an update done to it that greatly improved its functionality. Somehow I messed up and I missed getting the firing frames in there because I accidentally used the wrong sprite name. That has been corrected. Everything is well at the ranch once more, and everything functions in a manner that it should. I'm about to wrap this level up, and I just wanted to keep you guys informed about what's going on. Like I said, this new mod adds 4 classes, adds recoil, adds proper functionality of the rocket launcher. I'm looking at making the Demon's Bane an actual shotgun, not just a grenade launcher. The various explosive rounds will more than likely be slapped onto the rocket launcher in time. And with that, I will take my leave. A lot of updates. If you want to check it out, go to the GitHub, get on our release page, and figure out which release it is. The most recent release is 190909, huge update. Just a very, very quick, very, very important note. If you want to be able to switch fire modes in this mod, you must go into the control setup of ZDoom, select WeaponState1 and WeaponState2, and bind a key to those buttons. The reason being is WeaponState1 is your next ammo, WeaponState2 is your previous ammo type. All of the weapons are going to utilize this that have switchable ammo types. So, if you're unable to switch ammos and you don't know why, go into the control scheme, set up WeaponState1, WeaponState2. I usually do reload as R, T is WeaponState1, and Y is WeaponState2. So the next ammo type is just key click away from the reload button. But just to make sure people know this, do that before you play it or you won't be able to switch ammos. Also, like I said, the GitHub's up. If you want to play it, make sure you go to the releases folder because all of this stuff in the main directory will be bleeding edge. I always try to get a working, functional release, that's my son shaking something, before I push it to the GitHub. However, there could be things broken in the main directory. So just make sure that if you're playing it from the release folder and whatnot. Next, there is a public Discord. There's a link invite below. If you want to join the discussion, you want to talk about what you want to see in mods, that kind of stuff, be sure to click that. You'll get in. General rule of thumb, don't be a jerk. Be a good, decent human being. And if you want to know what's bannable, just don't do things you wouldn't do to other people or have done to yourself. The Discord is the place for all things. If you want to discuss things, you want to suggest things, even if you want to help out develop this thing, I could use all the developers I can get. For graphics especially, I'm not a spriter, I'm more of a coder. But yeah, the Discord's out there. Also, follow this YouTube channel and you'll see my updates on this. And with that, if you like this video, if you want more, as my son sits here shaking this thing of nails, rattling wildly, and he's hijacking my keyboard. Oh boy, here we go. Daniel. And you can see I am randomly spinning and it is crazy. So anyway, if you like this video and you want more and you want updates, be sure to like and subscribe and I will be sure to get those up to you. Have a great day, YouTube. God bless. See you all later. Hey there, YouTube. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to slap that like and subscribe button. Furthermore, if you want to see more of my videos, click the left or the right link. If you want to try out the mod, go to GitHub, download that puppy, but be sure to bind those weapon states to switch ammos. If you'd like to join the discussion, click the Discord link below. Furthermore, have a great day, stay awesome, and peace out.